गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए। सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबदायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबदायक। गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगल दाता, मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगल दाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता। गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। मांगत योगी जन कर जोरे, मांगत योगी, मांगत योगी जन कर जोरे। बस ही श्री माता जी मानस मोरे, बस ही श्री माता जी मानस मोरे। गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन। शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए 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 गणपति जगवंदन। Shree Mataji, very good morning and a warm welcome to all seekers on our session today. As you very well know that we have 3 such sessions going on this Zoom link and this YouTube channel, all aimed for new seekers to know more about Sahaja Yoga. These sessions are like this one at 8 a.m. in the morning, in the afternoon at 4:15 p.m. and in the evening at 7:45 p.m. These are about 1 hour long sessions where we briefly talk about what is Sahaja Yoga, what are the benefits, why Sahaja Yoga is needed for us, a little bit about our subtle system, And then we try for the most important aspect, which is self-realization experience. Post that, if you have any questions or you want to share any experiences, you can do that as well. Apart from this, we also have one session in the evening at 5:30 p.m. again daily, which is for seekers who have now understood the basics of Sahaja, have understood vibrations on their hands, and now want to go deeper into meditation. So at 5:30, we have that session daily as well. So what we'll do now is, as I mentioned, we'll just talk briefly about Sahaja, what it is. We are seeing the photograph of Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi right behind me. She started Sahaja in 1970, and now it is spread all across the world. Sahaja was, so the idea behind Sahaja is very simple. It is that up until now, what we have missed out on is something that was already existent in our country in the past, which was, as Shree Mataji puts it, the knowledge of the roots. Today, we have grown a lot in terms of development, first the West and then now India as well, where we are heading towards development, where it is the outside tree, one can say, which is visible to the eyes, which is the right side development, we can say in Sahaja Yoga terms. It is growing very fast and very, very speedily without the growth of the roots. So what are our roots? What is the knowledge of the roots? This has been always there in our country, in the great country of ours, of yoga, where our self has been described, the realization part has been described, the whole instrument that we are truly inside has been talked about in various ways, and the self-realization Kundalini awakening has been also talked about. So it's the same thing. Any tree that grows from the outside has to grow inwards as well in the roots. If it doesn't do that, it will collapse. And we can see that looking at the Western world and now our country as well, that we are heading really towards that, where without our roots, we are losing our moorings, we can say, and this can potentially lead to complete destruction. Now, why to do Sahaja Yoga is simple, and what it is also fairly simple. As the name it is, Sahaj. Sahaj means something that is simple and spontaneous. So a living process, any living process, now let's say we are talking about a tree. So sprouting of a seed and it becoming a tree and it giving fruits, all of that happens spontaneously. We don't actually generally do anything about it. Mother Earth has the quality, the seed has the quality inside it, the sun, everything happens on its own, and we get the fruits. All living processes like our breathing, or you take anything else, the birthing of a child, or you take any process that is a living process, it happens spontaneously, it has been designed so, it has been planned so. Yoga is also a spontaneous happening. What is yoga? Yoga means, literally, it means in Sanskrit, is union. Now the question comes, what is union? Union of what? In all of us resides Atma, which is the reflection in all of us of the Almighty, whatever name we may call him by. That Atma, to be connected with Paramatma, is self-realization, is yoga, is what is to be done in the name of spirituality, religion, whatever we do. That is the ultimate goal of our seeking, and all our seekings of various kinds that we can think of is ultimately going to lead us to that. Now, that's a very vague statement for a lot of us, but let's say today I'm somebody who's really after my career and really want to make it big, or I'm a student who really want to crack exams, or I'm a housewife, or I'm a politician, such and such person. All our pursuits, all our endeavors are with the hope that when I get this, I'll get complete satisfaction in life. Whereas when we achieve that, we don't get any satisfaction truly. And then we really start thinking that maybe it's something else. So they go towards something else. Then we try something else. Then again, we see that, oh, I haven't got the joy that I was looking for. Then ultimately, they come towards spirituality. This has been described as vairagya in our scriptures or in terminologies, or it has been, for some people, it comes very quickly when they realize that all these pursuits are not giving me the joy that I want, or some people get it very late in life. So that is how people all turn to yoga, and they are today finding out various ways and methods of getting to yoga or getting that joy that we're looking for. Unfortunately, today, in the name of yoga, there are so many people out there, so many gurus have come up, and so many organizations have come up that have kind of befooled most of the seekers in the world. And they are mostly turning out to be money-making propositions or something even worse. That creates further confusion. In this world of confusion that we are living in, we are looking for a solution that brings us out of all of this madness. Unfortunately, we land up again in something that is a mire of its own. And by going to all these places, people realize that my life is actually becoming worse. So, is there even God? But it's very easy to understand that, when there are so many fake things, all these fake things are made by trying to replicate something that is real. All fake flowers are made in the image of real flowers, for example. In the same way, there is truly a way and method, a whole mechanism that God has made us inside us already. He has done all the preparations that were needed for this to happen. Our evolution till now has happened not in our awareness. We were not aware when we became humans from monkeys or even states before that. It just happened on its own. Now, the last stage of our evolution is this breakthrough where we are connected with God. But this will happen in our awareness because we have to ask for it, we have to find it, and we have to seek it. That is how this has been planned, one can say, so that we become so mature and aware that we seek this on our own. This is what our union is. This is what our yoga is. And this is where we find the ultimate joy and peace in life once we get connected to God. Now, what happens and what is to be expected? Because now there are so many people talking about these things. So what is to be expected out of self-realization or our yoga? So the first thing that should happen is you should get an understanding of God's power that is all around us. Now we say that Kan me Bhagwan. So then you should really be able to feel that power. Up until now, we have not. We have had a Shraddha, a belief, and we have worked with that. But we have not really felt the all-pervading power that we say is everywhere, is omnipotent, is doing all the work, Ritambara Pragya as it is called. Now, the question arises, how do we feel that? So, first of all, when our realization happens, this power starts flowing through us. In our central nervous system, we feel it. What does that mean? Is that it flows through our channels and we feel at the end points of our hands various chakras and vibrations of cool breeze flowing in our hands. It may be hot in the beginning, no matter what. And also on the top of our head, because this is the place for us to meet the divine, we can say. Now, this happening has been described in various scriptures. In Adi Shankaracharya's book of Saundarya Lahari, the first Shankaracharya that was there, he wrote a book called Saundarya Lahari, which means Sundar, beautiful. Lahariyas means vibrations. His whole book is very, very heart from the heart, and it talks more about the mother. And he says that when the mother's power dawns upon us, we feel the cool breeze. He's called it as Salilam Salilam Chaitanya. That means little cool vibrations. Now, in Quran, it said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and give witness against you. How will that ever happen? Bible, it is said that when Holy Ghost will come, you will feel the cool breeze. Now, all these things have been said, but they have really not been talked about a lot because people don't know what it is. And this has been kept secret in our country and not really talked about openly because people don't understand. For example, Gyaneshwar talked about Kundalini and awakening, all of this in his Gyaneshwari Gita in the 6th chapter, which was banished, which was told that it is not allowed to read this by the Dharma Martandas of that time, the priests and pandits and all of them, because people don't understand this. That is the reason why it has been kept silent and secret. And whenever these guys did talk about so many things, we know that they were tortured, poisoned, crucified, and whatnot. So it has not been easy to talk to us human beings for these incarnations and prophets in the past. But now Shree Mataji says that the time has come. The time really needs it. It's the need of the hour. One can say this is called as Ghor Kalyug. The worst of the worst times are here. And in this great confusion, in this time of great confusion, people are really seeking God as they were not before. Not so many people ever were seeking spirituality and God. There were very, very few, far and few earlier. Now, that also has been described in our scriptures, and it's a longer discussion. But there's one Nal Damayanti Akhyan where Raja Nal got separated from his wife by Kali, and he found out Kali and said that I'll kill you because you're so horrible. Your time will come and people will suffer so much. So Kali said that, yes, go ahead, oh great king, but first listen to my importance. The king said, what could be your importance? And Kali says that when my time will come, when Ghor Kali will come, people would be living in great confusion. And in those times, as households, they will be born as household people, but they will get their self-realization. The people today who are roaming around in hills and caves trying to find God will be born as household people, and they will get their self-realization and reach God. We have heard promises in all religions, in all scriptures of a time when we will get this higher evolution. We can understand that there is something still missing in our human race. For sure, this is not how we were planned by the great planner, God Almighty. So it's just about accepting that there is something great possible about us. We are not just this body and this mind. We are much, much more. We are very, very amazingly built. When we understand that, it's very easy to get our self-realization in Sahaja Yoga, because Shree Mataji has found out a way for our mass realization, where we all feel for the very first time the bliss and the power of God flowing through us, and we can verify it. And it's very, very amazing the first time we feel it, because this is a completely new dimension. For example, now I get vibrations. I can check the vibrations of somebody sitting right next to me or somebody sitting in halfway across the world. And I can say that what's the problem with this person. I can also say that for myself for sure. I can use these vibrations to correct myself, to correct others. I can even give realization to others. This is a completely new dimension that opens up for us. And really it becomes a life such that you keep thinking of how blissful now it is. Everything is being taken care of. There's a lot to talk about in Sahaja Yoga, about what it is, and there's so much knowledge. Shree Mataji has talked in thousands of lectures in Hindi, English, and Marathi, and all of that is freely available for us. But the gist is that this is a practical experience that has to happen. And there's no outside certification. There's no membership that now we are Sahaja Yogis. People who practice Sahaja Yoga also have to practice it daily. That is what we do, meditation in in morning and evening and keep ourselves all right. And also do collective meditation, because collective meditation is very, very important. We correct ourselves much better when we go in collective. We get more vibrations flowing through us and we grow in collectivity in Sahaja. So this is what it is. It's for your own to do. And there's nothing for us to gain or anybody to gain. But just like this, like I'm talking to you, people are talking to others and sharing this very, very great experience and knowledge. What we'll do is now quickly talk about our internal subtle system, which is how we are all built in, like inside. So from the outside, we think of ourselves very differently. But on the inside, this is how we have all been built. When we were in our mother's womb, God's power, whatever name we call it by, entered through our fontanel bone area. This was a soft bone when we were little kids, toddlers. We'll see that it is a soft bone that even pulsates like this. Because the energy entered from here, and our brain being a prism-shaped entity, it refracted into three parts. The one coming from the right went to the left, one coming from the left went to the right. The one in the center created all these flower-like things that you're seeing, which are called as chakras. You can call them as energy centers. On the group, oh, there's a lot. Okay. So the energy that comes down after creating all of this settles down in our sacrum bone. The sacrum bone is almost at the end of our spine. These chakras are also in our spine. And so very interestingly, this bone has been called as sacrum, which means sacred. So the Greeks somehow knew that there is something sacred about this bone. When this energy settles down, it makes coils, 3.5 coils, essentially, which is why coils means kundal. And this is the mother power. She is our individual mother. She's been there all our lives with us. And her only goal is to give us our second birth, which is self-realization. So that is why this energy is called as Kundalini. And these chakras that we see are actually controlling all our being, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all aspects of our being are being controlled by these chakras. They manifest in the gross as plexuses and are essentially the crossing points of nerves inside us. And all our organs, etc., are taken care of by different chakras. And these are the main 7 chakras inside us. Now, to talk about briefly, we'll talk about the 3 channels, the main channels that are inside us. We are always thinking. So we'll see that if you really look at yourself, you're all the time thinking. Even when we sleep, we are thinking. And there's no end to it. But what are we thinking about? Either we are thinking of the past or of the future. That is what it is. Every thought is. We are never in the present. So our 2 channels are also of the past and the future. For example, left-hand side, we have what is called as Ida Nadi. It is taking care of our sympathetic on the left-hand side and is also called as the moon channel. This channel is representing our past. So all thoughts of our past, all our work done till now, all our emotions, all our desires, all of that come from this channel. People who are very emotional, too much living in the past, they are all the time working on it too much. Anything you use too much, you end up ruining it. We know it, Ati Sarvatra Varjit. That means excess of anything is bad. Similarly, in Sahaja Yoga, we understand that we use any channel or chakra too much, we can ruin it. So when this channel goes off, we can develop psychosomatic diseases, which are generally incurable in nature. On the left palm, we feel the status of this channel when we meditate. Similarly, on the right-hand side is what we call as Pingala Nadi. This is taking care of our sympathetic on the right-hand side. And this is called as the sun channel as well. This is the channel of our future. All our futuristic thoughts, our plannings, our ambitions, I'll do this, I'll do that, and all of this that comes to us comes from this channel. People who are very aggressive are working too much on this channel as well. People who are working too much, maybe in offices, maybe physically, all the time on the desk, planning, thinking, they are using this channel too much. And this being the sun channel gets heated up a lot, the various diseases that come because of that. We feel the status of this channel on our right palm. In the center is the Sushumna Nadi. This channel is, you can see the path for Kundalini to rise up and pierce through the fontanel bone. This takes care of our parasympathetic, and this is the channel of our present. So this is also what is called as the balance. It's been very much talked about by Buddha, at least. And this is why balance is important in our lives. People who lead normal, balanced lives are not too much on the left or the right, and they can get their realization when the time comes much more easily. So it's the simple people, normal people who get it easily, and not the extremities who may seem very, very, very charismatic or very different to us. They are in fact the difficult ones to get it. Now, quickly, we'll touch upon the various centers. These centers, as we said, are controlling many aspects inside us. And they are also governed by various deities. We say that God is inside. So where are they? They are on these various centers. We'll not talk about the deities, but just to talk about the qualities of these chakras a little bit. So for example, the first one is called as Muladhara Chakra. This takes care of our innocence, wisdom, our pure intelligence. All of that is coming from this chakra. So people who are going against innocence. So for example, people who are going wrong in terms of sex or anything, they are ruining this chakra. People who are very, very cunning, people not innocent, essentially, don't have a strong Muladhara chakra. But very innocent people will always have very good Muladhara chakra. They will always have the pure wisdom of what to do, what not to do in life. Especially in children, this can be a very strong power when they develop this chakra. When Kundalini awakens, she is nourishing all these chakras inside us. And slowly and steadily, all these problems also go away when she nourishes these chakras. Muladhara chakra is very important, and it's sitting below the Kundalini. When there is somebody in front who is an authorized person, this chakra gives the indication to Kundalini that yes, mother, you can rise now. Without that, it doesn't happen. And it takes care of many other things of all the chakras. That's a detailed discussion. We'll do it later. We can feel this chakra on this point, which is the palm and wrist meeting point on both sides. Every chakra has 3 parts to it, left, right, and center. After this comes the Swadhisthana chakra. Actually, it is the 3rd chakra because first Kundalini goes to Nabhi and then comes to Swadhisthana. But in the chronology here, we'll talk about it first. The main quality mentioned here is creativity. So all our creative powers of whatever work we do come from this chakra. All creativity means all art forms also actually come from this chakra. The pure knowledge to know the divine also comes from this chakra. When we go to impure knowledges or the wrong kind of knowledges, which is the correct term here, this chakra is caught up, which means what? So we are saying that this is the real tantra, which is of Kundalini awakening, which is of knowing God. When we go to wrong gurus or wrong tantrika kind of people, they're using wrong knowledges, and this chakra gets caught up on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, this chakra is caught up, and that's very interesting, by people who are thinking too much. So the question comes that are we thinking from our stomach, really? It's actually true, because the gray cells for our brains to think actually are converted from fat cells, which are in our stomach. And this work of conversion is done by Swadhisthana chakra. People who keep thinking a lot, they're using this chakra up too much because it has to keep on supplying. This chakra is doing only that job for these people. And these people then develop various diseases of liver, pancreas, spleen. You'll find that Stressful people are the ones who are having liver troubles, or people who think and plan too much are having diabetes and things like that. Because all of this is not taken care of by Swadhisthana for such people. These things can be brought down to normal when this chakra is nourished by Kundalini. We feel this center on both our thumbs, left and right side. After this comes the Nabhi chakra, which is the navel center right behind our Nabhi. And this is taking care of our complete benevolence, we can say, and gives us, makes us very generous people, very warm to others, and takes care of all aspects of our lives that are like monetary aspects or family or things like that. And people who are not generous, miserly, are catching on this chakra. People who are thinking too much about money all the time are also catching on this chakra. People who are very, very career oriented and all of that are catching too much here. Or people who have household troubles, family, husband, wife troubles, they also catch on this chakra. This chakra has a great quality of allowing us to seek. It was our seeking at fish stage, let's say, which told us that let's go and figure out what's on the land. And that's how reptiles came. When they wanted to seek of what's higher, let's see what's on the trees. So they became mammals and things like that. Ultimately, we are human beings and we are still seeking something. All that seeking ultimately leads us to seek God, because we realize that none of these other ventures really give us the joy as we talked about. So our evolution happened because of this chakra, and our further seeking will also happen because of this chakra. The chakra is represented on both our middle fingers, left and right side. Around this is what we call as the Bhavsagar, the void, which is the master principle place in us. So the Guru Tattva is residing here. The great masters, the great prophets, and so many took incarnations and established the real religion inside us. This is also the place of dharma. And that dharma is not Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever. That dharma is our innate religion. It's like the valencies of an element. It knows it has to do this, and it does that. Whereas in human beings, those dharmas are right now out of order, but they have been established already of what is humanity, we can say. Now, when we go against that, this chakra is caught up. And we take to wrong gurus as gurus, this chakra is caught up. And we do things that the gurus have told not to, for example, taking alcohol, etc. This chakra gets caught up. Which is very, very evident. You see that we see something very bad happening, we may end up puking. Or even we do that with alcohol. So this is the place where this established dharma resides. This is around the center of our palm on both hands. We can feel this. After this comes the Anat Chakra. This is right at the sternum. Here is the place of our self-confidence, our sense of security in the center. When that sense of security is somehow disturbed, women can develop breast cancer if they feel insecure with their husbands or family. Children who fall sick a lot are the ones who are afraid a lot. You'll see very clear evidences. On the right-hand side is the father principle. On the left-hand side is the mother principle. On the right-hand side is also the place of all our maryadas, all the idealisms that have been created of an ideal father, son, husband, etc. Similarly, it is for the mother's side on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side is also the place of the spirit, the Atma inside us. As I said, that Atma is the reflection of God Almighty inside us. And Kundalini actually is the reflection of His power, Adishakti, inside us. When Kundalini awakens, a spark comes into our chitta, you can say, and the Atma gets enlightened. And the Atma then comes into the driving seat, we can say, of us. Up until now, it has only been a witness. It has been seeing what is happening, but it has not been the driver, the master. So with Kundalini awakening, that is what happens. is the place of love and compassion inside us. This is represented on this chakra on both our small little fingers on left and right side. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra, which is right behind our throat. The main quality mentioned here is collectivity. All our communication happens because of this chakra. Our outer visage, mouth, nose, ear, our hands, shoulders, all of this is governed by this chakra. And this all leads to communication. Communication leads to collectivity. The various great qualities of this chakra we can talk about is that we truly know that we are part and parcel of the whole being, the Virata. That knowledge is not mental knowledge, but it comes because of our self-realization, and it comes because of this chakra. That knowledge leads us to see the world as a Leela, as it truly is a play. This chakra is caught up for various reasons, and it's very, very harmful for Sahaja, especially. The reason being that we don't feel the vibrations when this chakra is caught up. It's caught up on the left-hand side when we feel guilty a lot. For no reason at all, for small, small things also, we feel guilty. And even for large things, we have to leave it to God Almighty to judge us. And when we do that, then this chakra opens up. But when it's caught up, we don't feel the vibrations in our hands because we see that the nerves for our hands come from this chakra. So in Sahaja Yoga, we do this prayer and meditation where we say that I'm not guilty at all. It's very important. On the right-hand side, it's caught up for people who blame others, shout at others, say bad things to others, use bad words, very bombastic, aggress others. On the left-hand side, we aggress ourselves. Right-hand side, we aggress others. Both are equally bad. The chakra is also caught up because of tobacco consumption. We feel this center on our index fingers. After this comes the Agya chakra. This is placed at the optic chiasma inside us. Literally, it's a cross, you can say. It's a very, very constricted path for Kundalini to pass through. There are two balloon-like things that we see right after, which are called as ego and superego. Whatever actions we do in our life leads to an ego. It is bound to have some ego inside us. And whatever learnings we get in our life, that's the conditionings, or we call as superego. Now, one of these things are always shrouding the other. That is how we are. Either we are very egoistic or very super egoistic. And the path for Kundalini to pass through is constricted. The chakra of Agya is caught up when we are not able to forgive others. And as soon as we forgive here, this path for Kundalini to pass through opens up, and it sucks in both these things of ego and superego. Essentially, it eats up our karmas, we can say, in a way. Agya chakra we feel on both our ring fingers. After this, the last one is the Sahasrara, which means the 1,000-petaled chakra. This has been called as Brahma Randra, which means the Randra means the hole to meet the Brahma, the divine. Dasham Dwar, so many names are given to this. When Kundalini passes through this chakra, it gets united, integrated. We get integrated with the divine in a way. All the chakras are also integrated in this chakra. Now, when this happens, we said that the power that we are saying that's all around starts flowing through us, and we feel that in our palms and at the top of our head. What we'll do now is go for that experiment and experience of self-realization. There's a lot to talk about in terms of knowledge, theory in Sahaja Yoga, but this is for starting off, this is good enough. So let's move towards meditation. We feel this at the very center of our palms, the Sahasrara chakras. So there are some steps that we'll just do. First, you can see them with your eyes open. Later on, we'll do them with our eyes closed. In Sahaja Yoga, we take care, or we bring ourselves into balance by using various elements. There are various methods to do that of cleansing ourselves. We'll use some of them right now. In the first step, we'll keep our left hand open in our lap like this and keep the right hand on the Mother Earth. So we are built of the 5 elements. We use them to correct ourselves. This step we do to cleanse our left channel. Right now we'll see these steps, later on do them in meditation. The next step will keep the right hand open in our lap and left hand like this, placed towards the sky, bent from the elbow. The step after that will put both our hands on the Mother Earth. Now we'll keep our left hand open in our lap and do the next steps with our right hand only. We'll place the right hand on our heart. This is the place of the spirit inside us. We'll have some prayers here. Then we'll place this on our forehead next and bend our head forward a little. Then place it at the back of our head, push back our head towards the sky. The last step will completely stretch our palm and the fingers outwards and place this at the top of our head and press it hard. While pressing, we'll move it in a clockwise direction like this so that the scalp moves around. Now, these are the steps that we will do. It is an easy thing to understand that just doing any steps, moving our hands is not good enough to have such an amazing and such a great happening that we're talking about. Ramdas Swami, a realized soul, was the guru of Shivaji Maharaj. And he was asked by Shivaji Maharaj that how long does it take for self-realization, Atma Sakshatkar to happen? And he explained that, Rajan, by the time you take your one leg from one side of the horse to the other side, that's how long it will take. That what he wanted to say was that it happens instantaneously at that very second. But there has to be someone who can give it and someone who can take it. We just have to be humble and become the ones who are asking for it and who can take it. Shree Mataji is here to give it to us. Her photograph emanates those vibrations which make it possible for this awakening to happen inside of us. So it is a very, very special photograph. And we have to look at her photograph with complete respect and complete humility. And keep all our thoughts aside for now. We'll keep both our hands open in our lap, like we are asking for something. And look at our photograph. We will close our eyes slowly and bring our attention inside. See if we can bring it inside. Now we will do the steps that we had seen. We will keep the left hand open in our lap as is and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Here we will pray that Mother, please take out all the impurities of my Ida Nadi through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my left channel into complete balance. We'll also bring our attention to our left palm and see what is happening there right now. Pray that Mother, please take out all the negativities and impurities in my left channel through the Mother Earth. We'll bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand bent from elbow towards the sky. Here we will pray, Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi through the ether element. Please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. We'll bring our attention to both our palms and see what is happening there. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into balance. Now we'll place both the hands on the Mother Earth. We'll keep our eyes closed throughout and sit a little straight and keep our attention inside. Here we will pray, Mother, please bring us into complete balance. Please take out all the impurities of my Ida and Pingla nadis through the Mother Earth, whatever is still left. Mother, please bring us into balance. Now we can bring both our hands back into our lap. We keep the left hand as is in our lap and place the right hand on our heart. This is the place of the Atma, the spirit inside us. Here, we have to assert a truth. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Actually, we are not this body, mind, these thoughts, this personality, whatever we think of ourselves. All this is a myth. All this is not eternal. The only eternal thing is the spirit. So it is a fact that we are going to state here. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. I'm nothing but the pure spirit. Now, as we are the pure spirit, we have not done anything wrong. As we said, we have to leave all the judgment to the divine. And the divine is an ocean of forgiveness and love and compassion. It's nothing that we've done that the divine cannot forgive. So we say with full confidence that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. I have not done anything wrong. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring the right hand to our forehead and place it across like you would in a headache. And we'll bend our head forward a little. Here, we have to forgive everyone. We saw that this chakra opens up only when we forgive. But for some reason, we are unable to forgive easily. Actually, we don't do when we don't anything that when we don't forgive or we forgive. There's nothing really that we do. But when we do forgive, we leave it to God to take over. Up until then, we are torturing ourselves for no reason at all. So we leave it to God Almighty. We leave all our anger aside and just forgive everyone. Don't have to remember anyone, no names need to be taken, just a blanket forgiveness. And actually forgive and say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone from our hearts. You have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now we bring this hand at the back of our head and push back our head towards the sky. Here we have to say that, O God Almighty, if we have done any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive us. O God Almighty, if knowingly or unknowingly we have done any wrong against you, please forgive us. We can bring the hand back in our lap to rest it a bit. The last step, we'll bring our right hand at the top of our head, push back our fingers completely, and place the center of our palm at the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone when we were kids. Press our hand here, and while pressing, we'll move it in a clockwise direction. We'll keep moving it slowly. And here we have to ask for it. Without our asking for it, Shree Mataji cannot give it to us. So we have to say with complete humility, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. We'll bring the hand back in our lap. Keep our attention where our hand was and sit for meditation for a few seconds. We will bring our attention to our hands now, which are open in our lap. The very center of our palms, very subtle way, we'll bring our attention and see if there is a cool breeze or hot breeze coming out the center of our palm in one hand or in both the hands. Now we'll bring our attention to the tips of our fingers, end points. In some fingers, there will be some tingling at the end of the fingers, like a ant crawling there, some itching a little bit. These are our centers which are not okay. Now, once again, we'll bring the right hand at the top of our head where we had placed it and raise it a few inches above, just above the head. We'll not place it on the head, but a few inches above, and move it forward and backward a little. From a place, we'll see that a cool breeze is coming and hitting our palm. It's a very subtle feeling, so we'll look at it very minutely. We'll bring the right hand back into our lap and see the same with our left hand. We'll place the left hand a little above the fontanel bone area and move it forward, backward, left, right. See, from a particular place, we'll feel the cool or the hot breeze coming and touching our palm. And bring the left hand back into our lap. In the last step, we'll put both our hands completely towards the sky, elbows straight, and palms open towards the sky. We'll ask one of these three questions 3 times. Oh God, is this the divine power? Is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the power of love of God that does everything? We'll ask any of these questions 3 times. And answer, the vibrations will improve on our hands. So we'll bring the hands slowly back in our lap and keep them open in our lap. Keep our attention to Sahasrara, the fontanel bone area at the top of our head, and sit in meditation for a few seconds. We will open our eyes slowly. Look at Shree Mataji's photograph. We'll see that there are no thoughts right now. We are in a thoughtless state, but we are completely aware. This is the first step, the first boon of Kundalini awakening, that we get thoughtlessly aware. We are in the present. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskar to Shree Mataji and to the Kundalini inside. Thank them from our hearts for this blissful experience. For those of us who have joined for the first time, we would request you to please continue attending these sessions for some time so that you can establish this experience. Post that, we have to meditate every day, morning and evening, for 10-15 minutes. And we also have to go into collective in all cities, in all towns, mostly we have Sahaja yoga centers. It is very helpful when you go there and meditate along with other Sahaja yogis. It's like the sprouting of a seed which has to grow into a tree. And the water and sun for that are meditation and connectivity. So please Give yourself the time and the attention to grow into this. Jai Shri Mataji. Jivesh will help us understand more about how to get connected and know more about Sahaja Yoga. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. We have three sessions per day. The first one is at 8 a.m. in the morning. The second one is at 4:15 a.m. in in the afternoon, and the third one is at 7:45 p.m. at the evening. If you already got the all knowledge of all chakras and nadis, you can also join the deep meditation session at 5 p.m. in the evening. We have already shared the WhatsApp group link in YouTube chat box, through which you can join our WhatsApp group and get more knowledge about Sahaj Yoga.
Jai Shri Mataji. Jivesh, I believe there are no questions today. So if we have shared all the information, we can take Shri Mataji's permission and close the session.
Okay, Bhaiya. Jai Shri Mataji. We are closing this session by taking permissions of Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.